Hey everyone, welcome to another Haze Reverb video, and this week we have a very short update. So I'll try to quickly go over everything, but there is a few things I wanted to touch on with regards to what I recommend you should do, right? Now first off, we have Nastya as the rate up banner. Now she has been released before. I think most people know what she does. She's an auto taunter. I won't go too deeply into her, but she is usable with low skill up. Um, Upgrades, right? You can run her, at basically like base level if you want to. Um, so that is like a very rare thing with units these days. A lot of units tend to require a very heavy investment, but Nastya doesn't have that, right? So if you don't have her, I think it's a good idea to pick her up. But I would recommend waiting at least 1 week to see what happens next week. As you know, I've been mentioning this many times because, well, we still know that there's going to be a collab, but we just don't know when it's coming out. So just be mindful of your resource usage because of that. And wait as long as you can before pulling the trigger if you are missing her. Now, if you can potentially just purely skip her because she's already in a custom banner. She's not limited or anything. But the only reason why you might pull for her on this banner is just that it's easier to pull for her on this because she's the only rate up unit. And you could also use the shop tokens if you really want to. But I think this is better to save these for limited banners if you can, right? That way you don't have to potentially waste resources on a unit that you might just naturally get from a random pool already, because there's still 50-50 chance when you pull an SSR on this in this game, unlike some of the other games. So yeah, you could just naturally pull her while chasing the next limited unit anyway. But yeah, that is pretty much it for Nastya. Then we got the Moon Abyss for this week, or for the next 2 weeks actually. Now it is a little curious that this is going to be the event that we have for 2 weeks, because maybe this means that next week we also have like a very short week of not much happening before we get the collab, possibly, because we haven't had any news about the collab yet, which means that I would kind of doubt that it will be next week unless they really release some teasers, very soon. But since we haven't got any of that, I would be hesitant to say that it's going to be next week. Realistically, maybe it's going to be like 2 weeks, right? It sort of makes sense if Moonabis is going to cover a couple of weeks, then people can focus on the side story stuff, right? But that is the Moonabis. Now, I probably won't do a video for Moonabis because usually there's not much that has changed in Moonabis. I'll do a follow-up if there is anything worth talking about. But for the most part, I think you can probably follow what I've done in the previous Moonabysses for both level 99 and level 80. The level 81 can apply to anything below that because it's just like Morgan Nuke. The lower you do it, the lower the tiers you do, the easier it is to clear all the mobs anyway. So as long as you can do that, you should be able to clear it no problem. So yeah, I just don't feel there's going to be a need to redo it unless all the stages seem to be very different to what I remember. So yeah, I'll probably skip that, and instead I'll do some other guides instead. I'll work on that. I took a bit of a break from doing any extra videos this week because I spent quite a long time trying to perfect my Crusade Raid team from the previous week. So I wanted just to chill for a bit, and also I've been playing other games as well, just to do something else. But those are the main events for this week. Now we also have 2 overlimits that have been released. One is for Caroline, and there's one for Flora. Right. So for Caroline, I think she is the more usable one, and I think she'll be a good budget unit for dodge bosses, right? Like Crusade Raid bosses specifically, right? Now, she is basically another Mark type DPS, similar to Mel and Varia, those sort of units. But she is for anti-dodge, right? So this is sort of like a budget pressure, because pressure is the SSR anti-dodge unit. with marking abilities. Now she also will boost her attack. This will upgrade per breakthrough. So yeah, I think this looks pretty decent on paper, but in practice we'll have to see on the next boss if it's a dodge boss, right? So the next dodge boss, I will like test her out and see how she goes and compare her to a pressure, of course. I think so. This is a good one to keep in mind if you are on a budget. You can't afford to skill up your SSRs for a dodge boss specifically. Then maybe you want to use this instead because SR units are very easy to skill up, and all you need to all you need is the awakening materials, which are just they're like time gated basically, right? So you can get it over time, right? And then you just have to farm the Sobek ones for her specifically. She'll need 2 times of this, like 3 per upgrade, so you need 6 in total. So yeah, that is Caroline, and then we got Flora. Now Flora, I think she's not particularly useful because she turns into a debuffing unit, right? She reduces attack, reduces mobility, and she also reduces the dodge damage reduction percentage once she is upgraded the second time. If you want to build her, you do need 2 Nevea ones and 4 Sobek ones, right? Now, these debuff abilities are very hard to use in this game, in my opinion. There has been one Crusade Raid boss that wasn't immune to these like stat reducing abilities, and we haven't seen any since then. Right? So it's pretty rare for these to work. And then in PvP, you have to dedicate a slot for this effect. It's just not really worth it, in my opinion, because a lot of the time this is just going to go into their tanks. I guess you reduce their mobility. It's kind of nice on certain tanks, but I'd rather just use an actual DPS instead. So I would skip this if... well, I'm personally skipping it. I would recommend to skip this one, right? Unless you really want to use her for waifu purposes, maybe you just really like the skin, then yeah, feel free to try it out. But personally, I'm not gonna bother upgrading it. So that is it for this week. There's no side story thing. I mean, there is still the Valentine event because I think they delayed the release of it by 1 day. So we still have 1 day of it to finish it off. But aside from that, there's not going to be anything else for the rest of the week. Now, my suggestion would be to do your story recap during this time, right? So they've got the Starry event, and there's also the whoever this one was for. So there's 2 of these here. I would suggest try to clear this out and then farm up as much currency as you can for the shop. Do your usual daily stuff. I think you do 5 resource stages or whatever to finish the dailies. Do that, and then rest of your stamina, use it on this to try to clear what you can. Especially the perfect cores might have some immediate use for you. So worth doing that while there's nothing going on, right? Especially because we just had double resource, so I think you would have farmed a lot of your whatever you needed, whether it's shields or modules or whatever. Now you can just chill and get this done while there's nothing else going on. Anyway, that is it for this week. Pretty short week. So we'll see what happens next week. And as I said, I'll try to get 1 or 2 videos out over the next week until before the next weekly update video. And yeah, I'll see how we go with that. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.